Okay,
You're recording now.
very good. Now we have succeeded in converting employee satisfaction from numbers to qualitative data. It was in quantitative form, so we have converted it to qualitative for fair, good, and excellent. So the next thing we are going to do from our objective, they ask us to also check for service duration of each of the employees. But on our data here, we do not have any column for employee length of service, how long the employee have stayed. So we will now derive it. I don't know if you get. We'll derive it from
Mm.
our hire dates and the current date that we are, this year that we are now. So what we'll do from hire date, we'll click hire date, we'll highlight on hire date, go to date, choose year, choose year. Rename this place to be higher year or year
Okay.
of hire, whichever one, right?
Mm.
Click enter. Then you go to, because I want to do another column for this year because I want to do a column by column subtraction. So I will want to do this year that we are minus higher year. It will give us the length of duration um, each of the employee have worked. So I will go to custom column. When I go to custom column, just leave it, let the name be custom. There's a function that I will call on that place. That function gives us the current date. It is called date datetime.local. It's always in camel case. Datetime.local is a function used in calling the current date. Datetime.local. Local now, sorry. I just remembered. Local now. This expression now give us the current date of the year we are today as of today. If
Mm.
I wanted to do maybe a calculation or stuff, I could have done it here, but no, we just wanted to get the date of this year. So if I say okay, it forms a new column. Can you see the column? Giving the
Yes.
dates
Custom.
and if, look at the time we are 8:45:34 p.m. So it's giving us accuracy. Let's just keep it at dates. We don't want date and time, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
this is, let me rename this one. Let me rename it to current date or to say today's date so that we don't make mistake with it. Click enter. Now, from here, the same thing we did for the other for higher date. Go to year, go to year, then call it current year. Rename current year and click enter. Drop this. Before we drop, let me just hold this one.
Peculiar. You should allow me. Go to the room.
I'm dropping this. I just dropped it. Here I'm supposed to write current year, right? So
Mm.
now we want to get the difference between the current year and the higher year. That will give us the length of service of the employee. So employee service year. So if I highlight current year and hold control button and highlight higher year, then go to standard and say subtract to give us their subtraction value. 2024 minus 2016 will give us 8 years. So we'll come here and say
Mm.
employee employee service years. Service years. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, now we are now free to drop both of these years. We can drop this, hold control, and remove both of them. We have now succeeded in cleaning the whole data. So this data is clean as far as we are concerned. Everything on this data is clean. So from this point, we can now go back to Excel format because we are done with Power Query. So I will go to home and I will go to load and close and load. Now it will show you both the data that was. Now you see how the data that was clean have been transformed into that was dirty have been transformed into a clean data. Can you see? Can you
Yes,
see?
I can. Mm.
You know, what's the next thing for us to do? Let me check for our objective. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Human resources development and human resources department can analyze the various business objectives provided in the data. So the first one that we are going to do is for employee performance. What are we going to? Yes, data we are supposed to use is performance status, years of service, and department and position, right? So we want to
Mm.
check, want to identify top performers and underperformers in the performance trend across the department. So now when you are doing your storytelling, it is this thing that you are going to discuss because when you do the data with respect to this discussion, right? So that is it.
Mm.
Let me share back where we are. So this is where we are. So we are going to go to insert because we want to build a model from the pivot table to take only for it to take only the so that we can do analysis for performance status because we want to do employee performance analysis, right? So we'll do for performance status, years of service with respect to performance status, department with respect to performance status, position with respect to performance status, years of service and department. We'll just check around the data and see what we'll do between performance status, years of service and department and position. So I don't know if you see my screen.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we'll go to insert, we'll go to pivot table from table range. Say okay. We want to
Okay,
do
performance.
department and their performance rating. Let's see performance rating by department. I'm looking for performance. I've not seen.
Employee performance.
Where? Employee performance, right?
Just after salary.
Can you see?
Mm.
10%. I say 10%. Yeah, this is the count of performance. If you want to check, there's any count that we can check. From here, let's just keep it. Copy it because we don't want to have so many pivot table. Paste it. Then change the values. Let's do for employee performance and years of service. Let me see if this thing work. Now, the thing is showing us the sum of their years, but we don't want to get the sum of their years. We want to get the average of their years. So that average now will tell you the possible number of years a particular set stays. So let's use escape button. Let's use average. Summarize value by use average. Can you see?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So the average of employee service here, the ones who have excellent performance pay more as compared to the ones who have fair performance. They do not actually pay more. From here, let me see what else. Let's do for performance status and their positions. Or let's know the number of years a particular department stays. So let's do for years of service and departments. Are you following?
Yes, I am.
Let's do for years of service and department, or years of service and so I want to remove employee performance, place it by years of service. Okay, average. Since we have already done something for for department, let's do for positions. For each position, this is the average year length of service that they normally stay. You can repeat this for departments. Now we have known for position. Let's repeat it for department, right? Hmm?
Mm.
This is just for one pivot table copy. I'll drag down. Now let me remove positions and replace it with department. You can sort the values in how large to smallest and decide on what to plot with it. Can decide to, so I go to pivot table analyze. I want to plot charts with all of these ones. Plot all the charts. Their number of years, can you see that is dropping? Finance stay less as compared to IT guys. Operation, the people who stay more are the people that are in sales, right? Can you see?
Mm.
So I want to choose this one. Let me just use it. It will
Your
appear
voice
here.
is low.
I say it will appear here now. So this is the average year of years of service, relationship between like years of employee service based on their department. Oh God. Employee service by their department. Are you seeing what I'm doing? Are you seeing what I'm doing? I don't like grid lines, so I want to remove the grid lines. I'll remove this. I want to remove all these things. So let it just be the data. You get, so the average years a salesperson can stay in the company is 10 years. Meanwhile, for marketing, is almost 10 years. It's not up to 10 years. It's dropping. People that actually do not stay up to 10 years is the finance people. Can you see? Can you see that we are telling story from the data now? You understand? The data is telling us what.
Yes.
That's the idea. Now I can go up. I'll screw up, and I will do the same thing for here. I want them to be sorted from largest to smallest. Is it largest to smallest? Do not sort from largest to smallest. Do not sort from largest to smallest. Okay. I want it from largest to smallest. Then I'll use bar charts, but a different kind of bar charts. I want to use a descending, this type of bar chart, this one. So this is the one I want to use. But let me resort it. Let me sort it from, yeah, I want the highest to be at the top. So IT managers actually stay more. I'm editing it. Employee service. Service. Yeah. By their positions. You get it, right? The first one we did was
Mm.
by their department. So I just remove, you can add data labels to make it nice. I don't like putting legend for this kind of charts. I also do not, there's no need for the trend line. It's obvious that the thing is dropping. Then I can remove all this, hide all field button. I did not put this thing for this one. Let me put data label for it so that every year will have their own. It's very obvious. Then this is for if you look at this is average year of
Your
service.
voice is low.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
If you look at this is average employee year of service and their performance. So if I want to use, I will use something like a donut chart to show this one. So I will go to pivot table, analyze, and choose. I'll click by chart and I'll choose donut chart. And I'll say okay. And I'll drag it down. Close it up. See, first thing to do is label it. Employee or service years. Employee service year by their performance, or say with respect to their performance. you can decide to add data label, and you can also, because we can use percentage for this, right? Show value by, I want to use percent. Summarize value. Okay, let me show value as column, percent of total column. And so to show, this is wrong.
Hmm?
It's wrong. That value cannot be giving over 100. I want all of them to show data labels. Ahem. Data label should also call out. So I want it to nice. I want to, yep. Can you see? I'm just doing some small
Hmm.
design. You can also click this and come here and blow it out. Say 10 degrees. Is it too much? Let's leave it at 8. Or because this is a donut chart, it should not be
Hmm?
fine. Is it fine like this? I wanted to be compact together. It's not fine. Let it be like this. So this one is, the fair performance is 39%, while the one with excellent performance, it means that the average number of years, service years by their performance, people who did excellently have 61%, and and years, like by percentage, if you want to rate their years, 61% as compared to these people who is just 39%. So I want to remove this, hide all field buttons. Then let's do for uh, this one is just department and their performance. The count of department and their performance. These two actually have the same reflection, if you ask me, but they are table analyze to pivot table. Obvious that people who say, okay, or I can also use, I think pie chart is all nicer here. Oh, we are running out of time. I see.
Yes.
Employee performance. Let me blow it out to say 10 degrees. Let's see how I'm define the whole thing. It's data labels. So I can now use this. Then from here now, this is from here, we will now start plotting I want to rename here to call it the performance tab. Then I want to, okay, here is the dirty data, here is the clean data. I want to do for KPI. Let me insert. Our time is really fast spent, so say okay. I want to know the total number of employee. How do I do that? Employee ID. This was the total number of employee, right? Total employee. From here, we'll get to check which one is male, which one is female, and all of that. We'll put slicers. I think that should be our third video for today, so that just call it, just copy this one, Control C, and keep it here, Control V. Then from here, you can now increase it. Put any color you want. Just call it. And leave it there. Then copy this one. Control C. We want to do for want to know the population of our employee, the ones that are male and the ones that are female. Can you see?
Mm.
So you can use this one to know it. This is just, I'm just trying to do some random stuff, but we'll actually apply sliders. So this one is not so much necessary. I will just call this one KPI.
Your voice is low.
I will just call this one KPI, and our time is really fast spent. I'm trying to rush. Rename. I will just call this one KPI and hit enter. Then go back to this place. And the number 2 says salary equity. Can you see the screen?
No,
Now,
I can
and
see your screen, but I can't see the objectives.
okay, the objective that I'm looking at now. We want to go and do salary analysis. So we'll be analyzing salary with position and department and gender and marital status. So we'll come here, come back to insert. So say okay. Drag salary this way. Drag department this way. Copy, do for positions too. Those are the two major ones that we'll do. I'll change department. I want to put position. Escape. Now, if we can now sort this one from largest to smallest. Sort this one too from largest to smallest. Then we can now, our time is fast spent. We can now plot what we want to plot. If we want this to be fine, This is showing their salary by department, salary and end by department. Do all of this thing, remove this one. But if you want to leave it, it's up to you, Sha. I like removing them. We have just 3 minutes left, so I put my data label. I remove my legend. I remove my grid line. That will be all. Is it explainable? Is it okay, like as you're seeing it? Maybe you
Yes,
can.
it is.
That's what we want. So from here, our next video will probably be how to do the dashboard. But I don't know if you can. Can you continue so that we can do the dashboard, or you want us to say maybe tomorrow we can just continue from here? I'll save this
No,
data.
I'm feeling very sleepy.
You're already sleepy, right?
Mm.
Okay. So let's just stop for now. We are all just less than 2 minutes more. So what we'll do, I will just analyze this one. Let me just do the pivot chart analyze and have this idea. Can you see? So data labels, it will be very rowdy if I put data label. I can just remove the legend. Okay. And call
No
this.
grid line.
I can remove grid line. Good. And just call this. I can just call this salary salaries earned by position. Oh, my end, the spelling not correct. So just remove this. We are less than 1 minute. So what we'll do, like I said to you, so that we can continue. If I don't save it like this, cannot continue. So I'll go to save as,
Save as.
and put it here. HRO analyzed. I will just call it HRO analyzed because we have analyzed it, right? Although we are not done,
Mm.
so that we'll continue from here. Then I'll change here. I'll change it
Yes, it's to Excel workbook.
and I'll save. And you will observe that we'll have two versions of that. And so this is where I'll stop for today and tomorrow. So that I don't want you to forget. That's why I want us to hold